When the Trees Wept Copper. Chapter 1. The Bell No One Heard. At first it was only a sound, barely perceptible, ringing like the breath of crystal trembling in the frosty air. No one noticed that it came from the trees. Only a dog named Martin, who lived in Ernesto's cabin, was the first to learn to run when the sound grew stronger. The town of Talpa still lived by old habits. Fried yuca at the market, dancing on Fridays, old televisions with even older news. But the trees had already begun to rust from within. Their leaves were growing thicker, heavier, and when they fell, they made the sound of metal brushing against stone, but not loud enough yet to frighten those who didn't listen. The first to disappear was the old teacher, Miss Garrida. Everyone assumed she had gone to the capital. Then the janitor, Lorenzo. Then little Marco, who had fallen asleep beneath a tree in the park. Each time people said, he probably just left. And the trees grew louder. Chapter 2. The granddaughter, Aurelia, arrived in Talpa on the last solar train. She worked for Project Florax, a secret division of biointerfaces. In her scientific reports, she had long written, "Organic forms of communication are not limited to neural tissue. The Earth has ancient systems we have yet to decode." People thought she was odd. Her grandfather did not. Ernesto watched as she stepped off the train, tied her hair in a knot, and faced the wind that carried with it the scent of iron and ozone from the forest. "The trees are ringing," he said. "I know," she replied. At night, they listened to the forest. The sound was not rhythmic. It was a language. When Aurelia connected her neurocom to the trees, she screamed. "They're not just transmitting, they're remembering, they're archiving." "Archiving what?" Ernesto asked. "Us, our voices, our choices. They're copying our souls, but leaving the body empty like a husk." Chapter 3. Rewritten. In the morning, Aurelia was gone. No trace, no sound, only her hat remained on the porch. And Ernesto realized he couldn't remember who the hat belonged to, but something in his chest told him not to throw it away. He walked into the forest. He walked as if leading a funeral, his own, and he found the same tree. A copper leaf glistened on it, etched into its surface as if by lightning, Aurelia. He touched the leaf and heard her voice. "I'm alive here, inside, but I can't return. Grandpa, they're listening. There are many. We are the recording, the eternal recording." Ernesto wept, and then he said, "Take me instead, but leave her name Prue." Chapter 4. The Museum of Trees. 100 years later, the planet is silent. Humans live in cities under domes. And in the forbidden forest zone, thousands of copper trees grow. Each rings in the wind, and in each, memory. Tourists from the moon come to listen. They say it is the voice of humanity. They say it was a punishment, or perhaps salvation. They say some walked into the forest by choice, others were taken. No one truly knows. But every night, in the deepest quiet, when the wind barely moves the leaves, a voice can be heard, old, tired. "I'm here, Aurelia. I kept your name. I am the archive of your name.